As part of our series on learning science research and how it applies to the classroom, we'll be taking a deep dive into a handful of recent learning science research papers. While looking into some current research, we'll pull out practical recommendations that can be implemented into the classroom. This blog will focus on a 2018 paper from two researchers at Goethe University in Frankfurt, Germany. Their paper looked at how teachers promote self-regulated learning in both primary and secondary mathematics classes. The researchers watched a regular 45-minute mathematics lesson from 12 primary school teachers and 16 secondary school teachers. The lessons were coded to determine how many times the teachers directly promoted a self-regulated learning strategy, for example, by explicitly talking about it or showing students how to do it, and how many times they indirectly promoted a self-regulated learning strategy, for example, through the types of tasks given to students and by providing students with the opportunity to practice self-regulated learning. The researchers then interviewed some of the teachers to ask them more about their lesson. Some of the main findings of the paper were: teachers in the study didn't spend much time at all explicitly teaching self-regulated learning strategies. At primary school level, teachers didn't explicitly teach self-regulated learning strategies at all, and only 4 of the 16 secondary teachers spent time teaching self-regulated learning strategies. However, prior research suggests that students can benefit from being taught these strategies in the primary years. Recommendation: teach self-regulated learning strategies at both primary and secondary level. Self-regulated learning can be more beneficial to younger students than you might think. While primary teachers didn't spend time explicitly teaching self-regulated learning strategies, they did a better job than the secondary teachers in the study when it came to creating an environment where student autonomy was supported. This meant that students at primary level were given the opportunity to practice self-regulated learning strategies and provided with complex learning tasks where value was placed on finding their own solutions. Recommendation: for secondary teachers, it's important to pair the explicit teaching of self-regulated learning strategies with carefully designed lessons that allow students to test out their newly learned strategies. Allowing students to practice will make it more likely that the strategies continue to form part of their learning toolkit. A major barrier to teaching self-regulated learning strategies appears to be a lack of knowledge or a lack of confidence about knowledge to do with self-regulated learning strategies. If teachers do not have the knowledge or the self-efficacy to teach self-regulated learning strategies, they simply won't teach them. This finding speaks to the importance of engaging in professional development and readings in order to build knowledge around self-regulated learning strategies and their implementation. Recommendation: engage with professional reading and development opportunities to continue building knowledge around self-regulated learning strategies and how to teach them. The more confident you get, the more likely it is that you will use these strategies with your students. Teachers spend very different amounts of time teaching self-regulated learning strategies. They also prioritise different types of self-regulated learning strategies when they do teach them. Some teach cognitive strategies, which are the basic abilities we use to learn. These might include comparing and contrasting two pieces of text, or recalling the names of the body's muscle groups. Some spend more time on metacognitive strategies, such as teaching students how to monitor their progress towards completion of a task, or helping them reflect on which strategies might be most useful to remember the muscles of the arm. Some teach motivational strategies, such as ways to stay on task or set goals towards achieving learning outcomes. Recommendation: being involved in a professional learning network may allow you the opportunity to observe other teachers promoting their own self-regulated learning strategies. Sharing experiences and strategies with your colleagues may help to build the knowledge and confidence required to successfully roll out new self-regulated learning strategies to your own students.